Okay, Skull and Bone was featured. Fight Simulator. Okay, we good.
Yeah.
Send me that link quickly.
Yeah,
It's
send-
just a game. Okay.
Right.
Copy.
So, for fans and people watching, this is episode technically 2, more likely 1.5 because I done goofed.
He goofed.
I went on holiday and forgot to upload the podcast onto YouTube, and when I got round to it, the VOD was gone. So I am now just gonna just download them and then do it when I can, because that's what I did with the Sims Valkyries. Joining with me today are from left to right, because there's only 2 of us, 3 of us technically, if you include me. Stormheart.
Hello.
And Athena.
Hello.
And we are. I will actually take that, and we're gonna basically discuss why it's called I Done Goofed. Well, I've already basically said why and what we've just discussed about it. Main focus is Saints Row because that just came out a week ago, and we've got our opinions on it. And
Then Gamescom.
then Gamescom, yeah. I was just looking at what you sent me. I'm like,
Right.
And I know I haven't set up the fucking. Shut up.
What have you not set up now?
Sound alerts. Oh dear God.
Up there.
It's awesome seeing those. So yeah, I buggered up. I basically forgot while I was away and did not upload it. We basically talked about what Dead by Daylight, Project W, which came out today, Hopes, and
Boo, he messed up. Boo.
Can you fuck off? No, my fault I went on
Okay,
holiday
bye.
like the no, not my fault I went on holiday right after, and then like my credit card buggered up, and then my Amazon Prime buggered up, which meant my Twitch Prime buggered up, and then I lost it before I realized it.
To cut a very long story short, everything buggered up.
Everything went to shit. Okay, that whole week went to shit, even though I had a good time away. So yeah, like I say, we basically talked about Dead by Daylight. Because it was Azrael's first time, his favorite like games and all that, and and some other stuff. Yeah, I can't really remember it either. So this one is like, as we said, Saints Row, Gamescom, and then some closing questions. So yeah, Saints Row's out. What happened?
Storm has finished it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
well, not spoiler free. Not gonna say anything.
Yeah, spoiler free. So, I mean, what do we think of it?
Okay, I think we can all agree straight away the bugs. The bugs are the one main issue.
Oh yeah. That's the only reason why me and Athena are not playing it.
Yeah, no, we've stopped playing it now because of the bugs.
I enjoy it. Granted, the music's bland. Well, not bland, but like, not very much bangers. But
I mean, if I could just play "It's the Sound of the Police" on repeat, then I'd be fine. But I can't. Can I? I can't.
Yeah, just go on your phone and just like put on the playlist and just keep on playing. You know.
Fair enough. I can. Okay, I'm fine with music.
But I think there's something wrong with it because like I tried to play like music, and I tried to play the playlist while I was just driving around one time when you weren't on. I didn't do much, don't worry. And it would only play one song of my playlist.
Well, see, that's what I want.
I enjoy the game, it is good. Although I keep getting in cars that are playing the bloody classical music, and I'm like, ah.
That's the best part. Rolling into a
It
battle,
suits you though.
playing Rise of the Valkyries is freaking awesome.
Okay, if it was Rise of the Valkyries, given our...
I mean, I'm
You know.
pretty sure in Saints Row 4, you got there's a DLC that gave you a new dubstep gun that actually played Ride of the Valkyries.
Yeah, there was.
Hey, Mrs. S, how you doing?
Where's this? Hello.
And
Hello.
Athena, you realize I'm not gonna start calling Athena and that. But I spoke to a friend of mine who's like, and he's all good now. Yeah, we're doing good, just chatting away, doing the podcast the way I do it, not the way Kat does it. Well, I'll say not the way any podcast goes, basically. Mine's, I think we've all, thank you for the bits. I think we've all like established that I'm just unconventional when it comes to podcasts.
Yeah, but that's the best way.
Yeah, I mean, this place here was where I like literally thought of the idea. Like, this is where I thought of it. This is where I thought I'd start it. Then we did it on Elder Scrolls Online, then Fortnite, but we don't talk about that episode because that technically didn't happen.
Oh,
That's the one I buggered up and forgot to upload.
That was so long ago.
Yeah.
To be fair, the Fortnite was a very last second makeup area.
To be fair, it was a very good last second makeup. What else happened?
I have just realised a flaw in our plan of being here. Before we properly get into the more we spend in here, the more days in Game Pass, so the more money we spend on our mechanic.
Heck,
But continue.
We'll just get Azrael to do Doomsday Heist because you know how much he loves to complain about not doing them. If you're watching Azrael in the VOD, you can't even deny it.
I think he'll be too preoccupied at the moment.
Anyway.
Yeah, so, like, all the bugs, like, Storm, you've had one where, like, you went to the criminal ventures thing and it just went into the table and you couldn't get out of it.
Yep, I had to shut the full game down.
That's been happening to me and Athena all the frickin' time.
We literally can't get into the criminal venture thing.
There was also another glitch that I had, which was a helicopter. I went in it and it like first person viewed, but couldn't see anything.
That's weird.
I was gonna say if it was first person view, that would be dope, but
no, it kind of like you couldn't even. I literally had to fly up, jump out, wingsuit down just to fix it.
It's annoying.
But then when I jumped back in the side of the helicopter, it did it again.
The wingsuits, though, I absolutely love them.
Oh yeah, it was one of the things I was like, I don't know if I like this, but then I played it and I'm like, I actually kind of enjoy it. It gives a bit more mobility. It's not like the gliding of Saints Row where it just basically and like that, or just and 4 even where it just like dominated the whole game.
To be fair, that's what I liked about 4. You could just kind of run around the map and fly. You didn't have to get in a car.
But then that killed half the customization.
True.
Yeah, because you weren't customizing cars. But with like this, I like one of the first things we did after a mission, we spawned outside a building that you could actually go up on, and we tried to get back to the apartment whilst flying. It was like across a river and everything, and it was so much fun just flying as far as we could.
The one thing I will say, and it wasn't even my gameplay, but when I saw Athena, it just made me happy with the swearing in British, quote unquote British.
I missed that, and I'm annoyed. I wish it did.
I was watching it, and I was just expecting it to be the same as my one that was like pure American swearing. Nope, so much better.
Oh no, I love the English accent of her.
It's unfortunately only because every Saints Row game like has had a male voice character who's English, but not in this case.
Really?
We've had a guy who sounds like Texan. We've had a guy who sounds is Mexican. We've had, I'm guessing the, how do I say it without sounding racist? African American.
Oh, okay.
And then white.
The See, for the Saints Rows in like the previous games, the female voices have kind of been either just plain American, the way I can describe it. Russian for some reason was one,
Yeah,
and
but
then
Saints Row.
it was either like Latino or what's the other one? Kind of Southern.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Saints Row 3 and 4 just basically grabbed everything 3 had and put it back in.
Mm.
That's what
I
kind of
personally
annoyed
liked
fans.
4, but
It annoyed fans a bit more because it was like, it's basically the same game, same engine, but slightly better with superpowers. Because technically, the superpowers in that were supposed to be in Saints Row 3, but they shelved the DLC, which was called Enter the Dominatrix, into 4, and it became a behind the scenes like piss take.
there was actually superpowers in 3 for like 3 missions. No, 1 mission
One
technically,
mission,
but
but they
it
were
was
meant to
it was
have
a block of 3.
There was meant to have 4 more, and they even like there's a build in the development in Volition that is actually Saints Row 3.5, which is superpowers. Dex from Saints Row 2 and 1 comes back in it. All that.
I don't think we got that far then when we were playing it. We played through Saints Row 3 and 4, but didn't actually finish it because Saints Row
3
bugged
broke for
out.
you, so I gotta explain the
Yeah.
whole of Saints Row 3.
Uh-huh.
Saints Row
And
4
then
we
we
just
went
didn't
to
get
4.
around to it, but then we were like,
We did start 4, but got bored because I got bored because like of you could just fly anywhere. So I was just like, no, because it's not fun to drive this way. Like,
Get
what?
Out of Hell. Get Out of Hell was the same principle. It was like you can fly around in hell, but I feel like the powers in that game made more sense because you're literally grabbing like a ring or like the devil's ring, and it gives you the supernatural powers. Granted, you can only be Kinsey or Gap, but who doesn't want to be Johnny Gap?
Me, I was Kenzie.
Well,
Like,
fuck.
I just didn't like. I don't know. I just didn't like 4. The way you can fly about in this one, where you can like, you have to go to a specific thing.
And it's not even flying, but
Yeah, it's just gliding, but it feels like flying. And it feels so much better than just flying in the other one.
I mean, it is quite nice to jump out of a helicopter in the sky and just go wee to your objective. So much quicker.
Although I do feel like Storm, you would have missed out on like, you've played it solo. We've been playing it multiplayer. You'll have missed out on like pranks and having someone driving your car to like you jump off and try and land back on the same car. We still haven't really managed that.
oh no!
properly, I
But
don't think.
remember that when we tried to do the gym rob missions where we were like, okay, you fly in this time, I'll drive in. We did that, expertly done, and no one was there because the mission hadn't reloaded.
Oh yeah.
Because we were like, fuck, okay, plan B.
I think the one thing that makes me happy that they kept it is insurance fraud, because it's the one that's always kept through all the games, and insurance fraud is just fun.
I love that. I can never do
I still
it. Like
can't believe
I
I made
watch
15 million do it on it.
I watch Fox doing it, and he can like get adrenaline up really high. He'll like flop down at the correct moment and just go miles into the air, and then expertly like target another thing. And I'm just like, meh.
That's kind of what I do as well, though. I just kind of boing around, and when I'm up in the air, I aim for the next car, go boing, boing,
Yeah,
boing, boing,
I'm
boing,
trying
boing.
to do that, and I literally can't.
I
I don't know how.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but I do love how they did it. That they made it like Saints Row 4 by like, because obviously Saints Row 4 you had the superpowers, so you can like do the insurance fraud, but you'd be like, high up in the air and all that. I like how they made the adrenaline basically what Saints Row 4 did normally, but with explosions.
I think that added a lot to because you would having every single Saints Row have the insurance fraud
Yes.
would get repetitive, and you'd get annoyed. I feel like fans would have got annoyed if they just copy and pasted the same mode.
Oh, fuck them. I don't do it.
Strangely not, because there's something fun about just making your character ragdoll in front of cars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Saints Row 1 and 2 were literally the exact same thing, with insurance fraud. And 3. They didn't, no. No, sorry. So Saints Row 2 had adrenaline. Started with the adrenaline. Saints Row 1 didn't. Saints Row 1 was more like, hey, if you get specific lands, like if you get hit by a cop car, you get extra cash. If you get hit by an ambulance and gang vehicle, all that. Saints Row 2 was when it started adding adrenaline. Saints Row 3 didn't change any of that, but make the adrenaline more buoyant. Saints Row 4 added the power, so you could basically bound from miles away, or super sprint into cars. And then Get Out of Hell was the same, was more like Saints Row 2's, where it was you're playing a husk trying to jump around and hit cars.
Yeah, the explosions I just think were a great ad though.
Yeah.
That's
Doesn't make sense,
but I can't remember.
again.
What else was I gonna say about it?
I've heard from folks that the writing is not great.
Oh.
The story isn't like the writing in the story.
Yeah.
From someone who's played it.
You finished the main story. We've only done 2 of the criminal enterprises, and the insurance fraud one I loved. The other one I liked it, but it felt like the same thing 5 times.
Kill people, take car, bring it back to sort of survive.
I
think the next one, we did try to do rim jobs, but rim jobs is, it literally freezes Athena, and then it freezes me later on. At that point.
There is also you'll do so for the fast food one. We did, what was it, 7, and then it said that there was another mission, but that mission is just go talk to someone. It feels like there needs to be, or there should have been an end mission where you maybe defended the base. I don't know, something like that to kind of tie that criminal venture together, so that you feel like it's, I don't know.
Thanks. I was going to say there's no space in the lurk.
See, I was saying this about the criminal ventures earlier, though. I found, a couple of them that I've done, they were very, very monotonous. To the point of, they weren't even that fun, like you were saying.
I've heard the chemical plant one is not fun.
It really isn't.
Storm said that to me earlier.
And it's the longest one to do, and I really
purely because you have to drive slow, and everyone else is driving fast. It's Athena. It's because I've seen gameplay of it, so I know it. So it's you're driving a truck bed full of toxic waste, and you've got to be careful not to break any barrels. But everyone else is driving like maniacs.
Oh.
And it gets to a point where you even fight quote unquote mutated people who are irradiated by the toxic waste.
Oh. Ew.
They're just gold green. That's all it is.
Oh, right. I thought they would grow another head or something.
No,
that's quite fun.
It's not like Crackdown 1.
See, the one that I found as well that you probably haven't done, so I'll try it. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a laundromat.
Yeah, we haven't
No,
done
I've not done that one.
It gives you a bit of not cutscene, it gives you a bit of talking in between, but it's the same sort of mission every time. There's nothing fun or different or challenging about it. Well, challenging, but not in a fun way.
I think what's supposed to be different about those, I think they're maybe supposed to all be the same, and it's supposed to be, because the game seems to be built towards mainly duos playing it. like 2 people multiplayer, even though the bugs were mainly affecting multiplayer, as far as I've seen. So I think with it being built towards multiplayer, you're supposed to bounce off one another and like make it more fun, like artificially extend the story by doing everything else, if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, that's unfortunately
Just
like apart from the first game, that is what Saints Row has all been about. Just shooting not even shooting the shit, but just having a laugh with friends.
yeah, so like doing it yourself, like Storm's done, is probably what's made it feel lacking.
Granted,
repetitive.
when you're like playing it with people, like sometimes, and this is not just a dig at you, Athena, but like sometimes, like you could a player or because we know because it's happened with both of us, like someone's gone on ahead and then it just goes straight to the next part, or like they've grabbed something and like, but you're still fighting all the horde or something like that. That can like, and then it's like, okay, now you have to go here, or like you have to go over here before it's too late, and you're like at the start still dealing with everybody, like trying to fight off the horde.
Yeah, no.
Although there's one other thing I've noticed that's not available that I haven't seen yet. Because usually Saints Row's been notorious, but also fun for this, is the cheats. I haven't seen
I
a
never
menu
used
for
the cheats.
Oh, seriously. Saints Row 2, you get the pimp slap, and then you get low grav, then you get the, like, I can't mind the actual name of it, but it was like a major character, like, their melee go, like, do insane ragdoll. You would send people to space with the pimp slap. And if your friend was unfortunately in the way, they would also get sent to space.
I've never seen that one. I mean, obviously, that was what would you say, Saints Row 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So
Saints Row 1 had a knuckle duster and a pimp cane hat. Instead,
and very limited customization.
It's the same customization as Saints Row 2, to a T.
Yeah, but no female.
Well, yeah, shut up.
Shut up. It's not what you're talking about anyway, so yeah.
Saints
I know, sorry.
Saints Row 2 was a full middle finger. That I learned when playing multiplayer, you could actually block it and take half the damage, and it wouldn't kill you. Saints Row 3 had nothing but the Apocalypse, which were like 2 gigantic foam fists that would disintegrate people or send cars flying.
Are these cheats?
I think no. Well, the Pimp Slap and Saints Row 1, I think, get to like play in multiplayer. On Saints Row 2, I think you could acquire it, but I never knew how. And Saints Row 3 was a choice. You could either take Killbane's mask or the Apocalypse. I always went for Apocalypse because I was that guy who, if I had a choice between weapons and a mask that I'd never wear, or basically weapons over clothing, I would always choose weapons because I like my guns.
Well, my favorite weapon from Saints Row 3, and I'll never forget, was after the end of the game, you get the big chainsaw.
Oh my god. No, it wasn't even after the end of the game. You unlocked it after that fight.
And I just remember what I did was one day I jumped out, parachuted down to the bit that becomes quarantined.
Zombies. Yeah.
Yep. And I just lived out my lollipop chainsaw fantasies. And just went zoom, 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 zoom. I was just slicing up zombies in there for a good half an hour, killing time.
No, you were killing zombies. Sorry.
That's what I said.
No, you said you were killing time. The joke's what
Shut up.
I mean, so far Saints Row 4, Saints Row, the new one, I'm just enjoying the center handgun.
Oh,
I'm just enjoying using that.
I'm liking the assault rifle just because it's an umbrella, and I'm just walking around with an umbrella.
You're living out your like either Mary Poppins or Penguin.
Kingsman.
Kingsman.
No,
that makes sense.
I'm loving it, my Kings.
Yeah, but Penguin and Batman also had a one brother that was a fake gun, was a thing gun.
My current favorite weapon is a big bone.
Oh yeah.
I've
But
modded my baseball bat to make it into what's the Christmas lights, but more like a light up Idol's jet baseball bat.
Yeah, mine's is just a big bone.
Is that so you can say I have a bone to pick with you and pull out the bone?
That's more of an Athena thing to say.
that is actually something I would say. Thank you for the.
Although I will admit, the RPG I've got early, the Marshall launcher is, well, the Merv launcher even is a fun little thing.
Oh, the rocket launcher with the
Guitar
what do you
case?
call it? Guitar case. Love that. It looks so innocent, and then you just go bang.
I love how
Although
we went from like the bad of Saints Row to the good of Saints Row.
I mean, it's a good.
But that's a good thing. It's
Yeah,
a good
no,
thing.
I am enjoying the game. Like from someone who only recently played, I only recently played like Saints Row 3 and then 4 with you. This is
And hopefully two at
a
some
lot
point.
of it's still technically new to me, so it is really good.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Looks good. Sorry, I was checking Twitter and I just saw the Gotham Knights Collector's Edition. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Oh
No.
no. Collector's edition wise, I need to. That's something.
Yeah, I
Get to later.
I told you I should have pre-ordered that. I'm just saying right now.
We'll get to that later once we finish Saints Row.
Well,
I have a
son of a
rant to
bitch.
go on. Get ready for a rant. No, I'm joking.
But then again, the customization of Saints Row, like from character, weapon, vehicle, has been has been granted. The clothing is a bit lackluster because like I think they're still missing some, but I think it's because we need to buy the locations. It's been the best in any game,
Mhm.
and I will fight on top of a hill for that.
He's gonna die on that hill.
My only real comment probably was the hairstyles. They could have added so much more.
I mean,
I
they
feel
did.
like they added
To be
enough.
fair, to be fair, yeah, but he wants long hair. You know what he's like.
Yes.
True.
To be fair, Saints Row 2 and 3, I think 4 as well, added hairstyles, so I don't see why not. Like there was
Well, after the fact.
Yeah, they added DLC.
Oh.
So I don't see why not. I mean, heck, there was I know Saints Row 2 had an outfit pack, and one for that matter actually that added like a whole horde of new outfits to wear.
Oh yeah, I remember that from Saints Row 4.
Yeah, but I mean Saints Row, I think it was like the uncut pack.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that would be quite cool.
There was like a skeleton. Pretty sure there was also like a skeleton, like a leather jacket that had a skull on the back if you want.
There was also, if I'm not, there was a lot of caveman costumes that came out in Saints Row 4 when that pack got released,
Yeah.
which I liked.
Yeah. But yeah, look, customization is probably one of the greatest.
You've made your character basically Barbie with a pink convertible at one point, so?
No, it was not Barbie. It was not Barbie. It was the Sheila's Wheels convertible.
Sheila's Wheels! I thought you said it was Barbie.
No, she basically looked like Sheila's Wheels, but I was just scrolling through the garage and I noticed there was like this 1950s, proper 1950s Cadillac, and I was like, it's bright pink. I know what I'm doing right now. Immediately ran through, jumped in a helicopter, flew over to a shop, bought what I wanted, flew back, changed it in, made my character look like the Sheila's Wheels girl, jumped in the car and started driving around the map and just started singing the Sheila's Wheels commercial for a good half an hour.
It's so weird that you just think of the Sheila's Wheels
I mean,
out of nowhere.
But what do you think when you see a bright pink Cadillac?
Barbie. I would have started singing I'm a Barbie girl.
Nah, Sheila's Wheels came to mind just because it was the proper, like...
Now you've got that Meet the Spartans like scene where he jumps in the convertible, just starts playing that. uh, but no, like
Is that what you're gonna do?
no, God no. I mean, I do have a convertible, and I can technically make one of my cars the convertible by activating ejector seats.
Oh yeah, ejector
But-
seats as well.
But yeah, like the customization, and then the vehicles, like customizing them, adding signature abilities, like I said, ejector seats, a giant ball of death.
Oh,
To quote what the game calls it, the crab turn, where you basically
crap.
like, it's like the
Whoop, whoop,
car is like, you can press it and you can fine turn between different like lanes and all that,
Oh, that's weird.
while maintaining momentum going forward.
The one I
Um,
like is the ejector seats because you're just getting straight into your wingsuit. You don't need to climb onto the roof of the car.
Well, think about situational wise. Imagine like if the train's about to hit you, you can literally just activate wingsuit and then fly over it, so the cops can't get to you. Granted, you blow up your car, but hey,
Right, I'll say one thing I did enjoy, and it's probably because I abused it a bit too much.
takedowns.
Chucking the grenade down someone's pants and
Oh,
chucking
yeah.
them away.
The pineapple
abused
surprise. Who didn't?
Oh, pineapple! I was like,
Because it doesn't even, it does run out after a while, but you can use it infinitely at one point.
Do you know?
Yeah, but
what?
Storm, if you have the but if you have the perk
That's fine.
that makes it so that focus remains even after even out of combat, then you can just keep using it. That's what I've got. So I think that's what I had. But even then, I hardly rely on it.
I use it all the time just because I can't be bothered.
See, because all my main goal when we were playing Saints Row was to prank Fox because the pranks just are weird. At one point, you're just twerking or your arms are flailing. There's a massive hat that you can put on them. My main goal was that, and yeah, I kept getting double kills or get a triple kill, and I'm like, oh, how do I do that? I would just use the pineapple, throw someone at someone else.
It's not the case of how do I do it. It's how do I do it before Fox kills them.
Exactly, because this motherfucker runs and I'm gonna kill everything, and I'm like,
hey,
where's my levels?
I don't
get XP for that.
They
bitch.
don't call me the murder machine for nothing.
Not
Like
what
I
they call
basically
you.
embody my Saints Row character. Who, I'm not even joking, sounds like freaking Jake from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I love that show.
I think it was like when we've all seen this, so I won't like go into detail. But it's like that one bit where it's like they've just finished robbing someone, and it's like, and the mayor's like on the phone to them, like phone being like, "We're gonna take out these guys." Like, oh, here it comes, the purple shirt mafia, and the way he goes, "What? That's not," and it just sounded so much like him, like Jake. It was unbelievable.
What's weird though is like I don't think I've ever heard your character speak. I only hear mine. If I've ever heard yours speak, it's very rarely. So I don't think I've actually heard.
That's another problem. Like, I can only hear me when Athena's playing.
Like, even if it's you picking me up, it's what my line would be if I was picking you up that I'm hearing, type thing. Like, I've got you from her with her voice, which I find really takes you out of it because it doesn't feel like you're being rezzed by your teammate. It feels like you're being rezzed by yourself.
Yeah.
I don't. That's maybe a problem. But
it might just need to be a bug fix or something. Hopefully.
I still have. Speaking of buns to pick, by the way, that was going back with, but I'm still annoyed at Athena for calling my character basic when I showed it off.
Yeah, my character. If it makes you feel better, my character is very fucking basic. Granted, I've made purely because of the opening, which again won't digress about. I've made another version of my character that Athena has seen.
Mhm. Oh yeah, no, I've seen it.
Which to be fair looks awesome.
Yeah.
But
To be fair, this is just going back to a
my
joke when I
character's
was
just.
like,
I mean, heck, my character probably looks like my GTA character right now. Just change the hair a bit.
It kind of does, yeah, it actually does.
mine's just similar apart from the jacket, in a way.
Should have made a room like comment dressed as their central character. God damn, that would be awesome.
I can't get the top that my character wears in this.
Yeah, no,
Or
now
anything
I forget,
similar.
but
Sure.
like, be honest, she looks similar.
Pretty much.
I don't know why, but yours looks more like. Again, don't want to sound racist, but yours looks more tanned than like.
Yeah, no, no,
everyone's.
I think I messed up because well, I think my face, like, wise, I've put too much makeup on my central character, so she looks really like her. I don't know, her skin tone kind of feels off. If that makes sense.
You can probably change it though. Like.
Yeah, I've lightened her skin a little bit, but I'm just like, it still feels off. I think it's just the amount of blush that's on her face.
See, when I made mine, I made a boo-boo. I made her really skinny, but I made her, like, too skinny. I think you saw Fox when I first made the character. If you looked at her from the side, it was just flat.
Flat.
No, not even, like, over-exaggerating. It was flat.
She was a line. She was not curvy or anything. She was just a line.
Pretty much. I think you did see it, didn't you, Fox? And I was like,
Yeah,
well,
I did. I was like,
I don't think I did.
Right. Yeah, so. Don't think there's really much else to discuss about it, is there?
I don't.
not just the pros, the cons.
We've covered those basically.
I know my favorite weapon, I said the bone, but actually it's a pistol revolver thing, and it's so powerful. I love it.
Oh, yeah. I liked
Um,
it, but at the same time, like I prefer the fast fire rate of the normal handgun. Granted, I can turn that handgun into the revolver if I wanted, but I don't think it fits it.
See, I've always liked a bit of revolver, but I was going back to like Suicide Squad. You know, like whatchamacallit, Harley Quinn's revolver. I always like guns like that.
Well, now that you mentioned Harley Quinn, that can actually like divert into the Gamescom announcements, cause Gotham Knights announced. Well, I don't know if it's all the villains, but they announced 4 of them. One of them being a unique-looking Harley Quinn.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
How
Have you not seen
unique?
the trailer?
She's not got her pigtails. She's got what like kind of like the hair you've got, and she's more like Harley Quinzel and Harley, like as if Joker's not around.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
all because there's a point. I mean, it's in the trailer, so people can watch it. But she's doing like a conference almost for being herself, and
Yeah.
just. So I'm like, is she still Harley Quinn, like Harleen Quinzel, like the Doctor? Has she been corrupted yet, or has she fixed her mental state and now not corrupted?
But if she would have fixed her mental state, she'd probably like join the Bat family or something. But I'm not sure.
Do you know a character I would love for a DC game that's never playable? She's only ever like background or, you know, as an antagonist is the bad one.
Yes.
Poison Ivy.
I don't know.
She's never really. I know she's not really a fighter. She's more of a. I'll sit back on this big plant and just let my vines go after you. But
that would be the problem there. But yeah. I mean, technically, we got Justice League. Well, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League next year, which might thingy it out. But at the same time, it's like what Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, Harley Quinn, Killer Shark. I think that's all those available. Set after Arkham Knight, so there will be no Batman. Like this is the first game after Arkham Knight. Gotham Knights is his own universe, which, considering how those guys made the Arkham Origins game, I'm glad they're able to basically. And I've heard that they wanted to make their own thing, but Warner Bros. Like no. So I'm glad that they're doing their own thing. I just hope it goes down well, And I'm also again happy that you can beat anybody when you're playing co-op, no matter who is playing that.
So is it one person can play, or can you just have like a team of
Well, they showed off.
Batgirls?
They showed off in the trailer that there was two Jason Red Hoods, but two very different Red Hoods. So one was more
Okay.
focused on the brother tree, and one was more focused on the gunslinger tree.
Okay.
I think the point they're trying to get is you may have two of the same character, but it's still how you play the game. It's your play style, so it'll be your Batgirl, your Red Hood, you get the picture.
I will say what I think would be a good character to put in for like, okay, it's probably a gag character, but Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. Oh, could you imagine him being in a game?
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
Yeah.
You can never beat his campiness in that movie because it was just that. Oh, that movie was just so campy,
funny,
but brilliant. And the first time that Poison Ivy got a live action, so I was happy.
Oh yeah.
So it does actually look that like what you were saying was Harley Quinn looks weird, but I've just found a clip of her in the new game on Twitter. She's got hair like the like Storm and I's hair in GTA right now.
Like
But
quite short.
She's in a very iconic red and black suit.
Yeah, she's in the iconic suits and using her iconic hammer because there is an actual there is a game clip of Nightwing fighting Harley Quinn, and it looks like Gotham Knights just announced there's going to be one showing off Clayface against Red Hood.
Oh.
Because there's also, what was it? It was Clayface, Mr. Freeze, Harley Quinn, and then obviously the head honcho, which is Talon, or the Court of Owls. Yeah, so that tweet there, Storm, will just give you an idea of what Harley will look like.
My phone's dead. I'll have a look in a second.
God damn it!
Yeah, but so there is like a one, because there is one where she is on stage, a part of a clip, but then there's one where she's behind bars. So I don't know where they're gonna go. Maybe it's gonna be like
that
an
might
origin
be for all
story
we know. For all we know, that'll be after it.
Or they're going to do with what they've been doing a lot with Harley recently, breaking her away from the Joker and making her her own person.
I think that's what they've done. Because
no,
I
think that's what they're doing
of the Joker. But at the same time, I hope, because I know he wasn't really a main villain, more of a nuisance. That the Riddler and his trophies come out and play a bit, because I feel like this is supposed. Bearing in mind, this is supposed to be the biggest Gotham City that's playable.
I thought Arkham Knight's Gotham City was big.
It's bigger than that. It's supposed to be like old Gotham and new Gotham, like put together and all that.
Here's a question: will it be set at night and raining? Because that's how every other Gotham is portrayed.
Well, that's what it looks like. It looks like you're never going to be outside.
Right, I don't think I've ever seen Gotham City during the day.
Fair point. I was like trying to think, like, oh yeah, fair point.
Because me and Athena have talked about this before. Gotham City is always the crime-ridden, the alleyways, the dank, the dark, the rainy. Then you get Metropolis. Right, sunny, bright, happy, butterflies flying all over the place.
Like of their parents.
So the collector's edition.
Don't forget Like of Their Parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I've already seen that before, but I'm like, nah. And I've already pre-ordered it, so...
Yeah, the collector's edition. It's a restock. That's what you would have seen.
Okay, well then BRB. Well, in that case, keep an eye out for the Hogwarts Legacy one.
Yes.
Which also got shown off, and it does look like I've seen a tweet of this. Whatever happens, they're making it sound like whatever happens in that part of the game will forever shape how your character what your character will go, what path they will choose, because there are supposedly multiple endings.
Well, I
I
remember
will.
from the trailer. Was that a trailer? Or me and Athena.
Yeah.
Well, actually, me and Athena were talking about it, and it was like, I'm pretty sure it casts the Killing Curse.
Yeah, no, it does.
I think that's what
But
you mean. Like,
that's what I'm on about.
I think that's what you're meaning. Yeah. Like,
There's a. Let me look it up. Hang on.
so I think what it is there's multiple endings because it's Regulus Black that will be the headmaster roundabout because that's roundabout the time of that because it's like 1890 it's set and Regulus
Aye,
Black was about the headmaster about that time.
right.
So
Black. Why am I think I recognize that family
Sirius
name?
is Sirius Black,
Oh, right. Thank you.
Harry's godfather.
Yep. Got it. Got it now.
So it's what I'm thinking, as Fox said, there's multiple endings, so I'm thinking maybe it's like if you cast one of the unforgivable curses, if you cast the killing curse, it's going to put you down a path where you get an ending where you end up bad. Or if you refuse to cast any of them, you'll go through a path where you end up technically good, kind of thing. I'm assuming that's the way it's working.
I mean, yeah, you were right on that.
But there's like so many curses. Why? Although I do think if I'm gonna play it, I'm probably gonna play it a couple times just so that I can cast the unforgivable curses, but then do it again where I don't cast them. That way my guilt is outweighed because I don't wanna I wanna cast them, but I'm also like, but they're unforgivable. I don't want to cast them. And oh,
I don't know. I personally want to cast what you call it?
Crucio,
No,
um,
Imperia.
Imperial. That's the last one I couldn't remember. The Imperious curse. You
Ah, the
wanna?
Imperia.
That's because you have. So we've figured out in this podcast that Storm has controlling tendencies.
I do not.
Watch out, any
Well,
future
while you
partner
two,
of his.
while you two argue, I'm gonna quickly run to the toilet. So I'll let you two continue the conversation about Hogwarts and that.
This
Oh
works for me. Me
God.
and her can argue about this.
Yeah, feel free.
Well,
I'll
we're
come.
not gonna argue. I just.
Yeah, but like mine also, we got Dead Island 2 that got announced. Sea of Thieves apparently did some things. The Grounded movie, all that. But yeah, anyway.
Oh.
Right, you're gonna pee. We will be here.
What else have I heard about? Well, I was just thinking Hogwarts Legacy. What kind of stuff like
Well,
there?
I'm intrigued to see. Like, apparently, like you obviously get sorted into your house, but you get to make your character at that point.
I want to know how they're going to do that because as much as I want to be sorted, just sorted, I want it to be like I also don't want to be in any house other than Ravenclaw, which
I think it's just gonna give you the choice. I don't think it'll do the whole sort yeah thing.
yeah, like
As
because
much as
if
it's lazy writing, it's probably the best way to do it so folk can get what they want.
I mean, unless they have like a randomized one where they just do put you into a random one and then you can decide whether or not you want it. Because you know how, like, when you flip a coin, whatever
Uh
it
huh.
lands on, in that instant, you know what your actual choice you wanted to make was.
Hmm.
I'm assuming if you're like indecisive, you can just go randomize, and then if it comes up with one you don't want, you're like, well, clearly I don't actually want that one.
What I'm intrigued to see actually is how they do the common rooms because we never really got a glance at any of the other common rooms apart from the Gryffindor one in the movies.
I mean, they
I know the
are.
books describe it, but
No, they're in the trailers.
and they looked amazing. Like the Ravenclaw one looked really like it looked like
Well,
an observatory a little bit.
it kind of is. It's in the tower adjacent to the Gryffindor
Uh,
one,
whereas Hufflepuff's is down in the kitchens.
next to the kitchens. But yes, you have
Uh,
to tickle a pear to get
I'm
into
actually
it.
quite looking forward to seeing the kitchens of Tickle Up.
You legit. I just have to tickle a pear. I think
Well,
that's what it was.
I'm looking forward to seeing the kitchens because again, that's something you never really seen in Hogwarts.
No, because they cut the whole like storyline of the house elves kind of stuff. So I'm just
Well, they're
I
not
don't know
really
what to say.
they're not really enslaved house elves, are they? They're paid house elves, aren't they?
No, they're not. They're enslaved. Let's not go there.
But they're not enslaved. Hufflepuff was the one that brought them there.
I'll explain later because we're not going to that.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Um,
I think it's going to be fun having like the full of Hogwarts to explore.
yeah, I wonder how they're gonna do mechanic-wise, how you would distinguish between like Lumos and like Incendio, if that makes sense. Like, is it gonna be like a wheel that you would press like left or L1 and a wheel would come up
Oh,
you
click
know
your
how in
spell.
this
Yeah.
and then like use that like selecting a gun in GTA would be like L1
Or
you'd
it'll
use the stick to.
go. You've got to actually draw the spell and mess up many a time.
Oh no, that would be horrible during like a duel, just drawing a spell of.
I'd be like, ah! I don't want a zigzag, I want a curl. Or I want a swish and flick, but you're not swishing and flicking.
I don't know about that one.
I've seen, I did see one little clip, and it was only for 2 seconds, and it was just them bobbing on a broomstick down the Forbidden Forest.
I haven't seen that one.
It was just like a 2 second clip of just like bobbing into the forest, and he was just like on a broomstick bobbing.
I was trying to get.
Fair enough.
I didn't even know you were back. You were back. I was trying to get, as was probably hinted at, I was trying to get the collector's edition because you can get a book that as soon as you plug it in, the wand floats, and it looks magical and it looks amazing. The only thing it's missing is it lighting up, and it rotates, and it's just. But they're out of stock in game. But since they've just restocked the what do you call it thing for
Gotham
next
Knights.
month? Gotham Knights for next month? The month after.
2 months,
October.
yeah.
Yeah,
Technically
for
next
October.
month, because it is like the end of August. This is the plug.
Fair.
This is how long it is. When the stream was.
Because of that, then we'll I'm hoping they restock. As soon as they do, I'm just like mine.
So here's a question for it. Obviously, it's set in like 1890 or whatever year it is. Like
1890.
well,
Yes, exactly.
yeah. None of the professors will be the same, are they? None of them. Like nobody will be there that we recognize apart from the ghosts.
Yep.
Well, yeah, the ghosts will probably be the same. They'll probably because the oldest person at Hogwarts was Dumbledore, and he was like born in 1890 almost.
Aye.
So he would be a child. I don't even think he'd be old enough to go to Hogwarts at this point.
No.
I can quickly look it up.
But even then.
I'll tell you what ghost I do hope's in it for once. Peeves.
Okay, so
Isn't he
yeah,
in it?
actually, Pete. I don't know.
I remember you yelling at me saying he was in it. I'm like, who? And then you.
Yes, he is. It was like the first one. It was the first trailer or something he was in. Dumbledore was born in 1881, so 9 years before the story. He'd be 2 years too young for Hogwarts.
All right.
If it is set in 1890.
Yeah.
And now not the elephant room, but the big reveal that took 8 fucking years to finally get a reveal trailer after so goddamn long. Hey, tell me, sorry, I was away. Dead Island 2. After 8 long years, finally got another trailer.
All I gotta say is, every time I hear Dead Island 2, the tune "I'm the Bomb, I'm about to blow up" just plugs into my head with that runner.
So that was that?
Yeah, that's the trailer from like years ago.
Okay, so when I saw that trailer, when I saw the new trailer, that's the trailer I thought of, that song that you had sent me years ago, and I'm like, no, I think that was some other game. But no, it is Dead Island, that song's, that's cool. But also, why is there always gonna be zombies? For fuck's sake.
As I discussed in the podcast I was in on Sunday, If you haven't watched it, I'm pretty sure Kat will have it up soon. It's just an oversaturation at this point. I mean, there's not many vampire games. There's not many werewolf games. There's
Actually, I
a
was looking
fuck
at
ton of zombies.
just when you said speaking of vampire games, I was looking at that Vampire Masquerade Swan song, and I was like, but it doesn't look like it's customizable, so maybe not.
No, you play
I
as
do
three. You
feel
play as three characters trying to solve a mystery from each of the different factions, I think. But you also have to
Ah,
maintain your blood. It's like the Telltale games. If anything.
oh right. Oh,
yeah,
see,
But
there was one.
there is
There was
Vampire
one
the
vampire.
Masquerade Bloodlines 2 that's supposed to be customizable, but I don't know when that's out.
There was like one of them that was an open world. Like I think it was an older game that you could just design your character. Was
I
that
don't know.
the Masquerade, the Bloodlines?
Maybe, but I don't know.
Mm.
I've never seen that. Well, I've seen Vampire the Masquerade. Oh, sorry. Blood Hunt, but that's about
Yeah,
it.
same.
We probably. I think that zombie wise, it's oversaturated. We need rid of zombies. Zombies suck. I hate them. They can die in hellfire. Well, actually, re-die in hellfire because they're.
Stop being zombieist.
I know, but I do think we need a vampire game, like Gotham Knights, or like a game like open world, but like kind of thing, if that makes sense. Vampire game. Petition. We need to petition for that. I don't know who would make it, but we need to petition for that. We don't want superheroes. We don't want zombies. We especially don't want zombies.
I want
Don't want.
superheroes. The only superhero I got that was remotely like customizable was that DC Universe.
Well, I did hear a rumor that that the same devs behind DC Universe Online are making a Marvel Online.
Ooh.
And if that's the case, I can just wholeheartedly hope to God that one of those things is like what you call it? Like the same like concept. Like you pick a like ability tech three different mentors for villains and heroes side, like Iron Man, Captain America. I don't know, like another one you'd pick, but you get the idea.
Ooh.
Mhm.
What do you think if they put Wanda in that? Would she be a mentor or a villain or a hero?
Anti-hero,
Uh.
most likely.
Yeah, maybe.
But then, like, your
There's.
traversal. Will
Mhm.
you have the flight of, like, Iron Man? Like, the tech? Web swinging as Spider-Man? Or, like, Captain America style acrobatics, you know?
Mm.
Okay.
Same
I
would
mean,
go.
that could work.
The same would
That
go
would
for like.
work.
The same would go for like your power. Like, what would you have? Would you have like. What, like again, I keep using like Iron Man and all that, but like, would you have like Hawkeye's aim? Would you have like the Hulk super like the like a Hulk like gamma radiation? Iron like
That's.
tech? Would you have um?
Wanda's chaos.
Well, yeah, like chaos magic, just magic in general. Like, would you be a
That
sorcerer?
actually. Yeah, that
Uh,
could work as a good game.
it would actually.
Would you
I
have
mean,
the
the
power
DC
of fourth
Universe one
wall
was.
breaking?
Oh, imagine though.
Because DC
Because
Universe was given we played it, but it didn't last very
there
long.
was a legitimate MMO called Marvel Omega, but it was more like Diablo, and you picked like a different characters in that. Like you could play like Black Widow, Deadpool, you know, but you had to like unlock them or buy them.
I just
That
remember
Imagine
when
though.
Athena made the Sapphire Witch.
I mean, I shit you
Imagine though,
not, that game lasted like a week before they shut it down.
like in combat, you get the power of fourth wall breaking, and you break your combat ability is like break the fourth wall and cause your opponent to have an existential crisis, they take mental damage or something.
I mean, nothing will break when Deadpool uses the own health bar against a person
Oh,
in a game.
I got hit by the health bar the other day there from Fox because by Deadpool in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So I know what you're talking about. I am still pissed.
But so, do we know much about the story for Dead Island 2, or?
If I remember it from the original Dead Island, it was like supposed to be. Well, from the original trailer, it's supposed to be you just play as a group of immune, just trying to survive with this guy giving you like comms and like what to do and all that.
Because it's just personal, but when I
that
played
was 8
Dead
years
Island,
ago.
See, when I played Dead Island the first time, I just could not get into it. I tried and tried and tried and tried and just could not get into it.
Oh, don't worry, I enjoyed Dead Island 1, but I absolutely despised the repair mechanic. You had to go to a workbench and pay money to get it fixed. And then Dying Light came out, which was a spiritual successor to Dead Island. And Riptide, at that matter. Even though I know how much you hate it, Athena, Dead Island and Dying Light were made by the same developers.
Really?
Yeah. If you look up Techland, that's what they were made by. And the fact
I'm just
that
glad
they made
this
it
is
so much easier to like repair shit and that. You were saying?
I'm just gonna say, sorry. I was gonna say I'm so glad this table isn't real because see the way that Athena was like, no more zombies. I could just see her banging on it.
There was a game that I haven't heard much spoken about. There was a trailer. I haven't actually even seen the trailer. It was the Sonic. What was it? Sonic something?
Frontiers.
Frontiers. Yes. I
It was
haven't
playable
heard
at
much
Gamescom.
about that. Really? Is
Apparently
it like
people
the
are
old
actually loving it.
It's
It's
like
an
platformer Sonic?
No, it's an open world Sonic game.
Open world Sonic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like
That's
Breath of the
different.
Wild, supposedly.
Oh.
Like, I don't think I've ever known a Sonic game to be open world.
No, not really. But like, I mean, there's first for everything. It just needs to be a really big map so that you could run it really fast.
But no, it was there.
Probably.
Alright, well, like, yeah, no, I know there was a trailer.
People were apparently getting banned
sure.
from playing because they kept finding spoilers.
Oh. Jesus.
Um.
You know, like, if that's one I'm gonna look into and have a look at and, like, see about, because that's. I didn't realize it was open world, so I'm just like, ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, by the way, I've been meaning to say, do you know how you said you were probably going to come back to it every week just in case anyone added anything? You know, the games that are like special to you. I remembered another one. Mario Galaxy.
Never played that one.
Oh, I remember playing that at yours.
Mario Galaxy. It holds a special place for me. Because it was kind of open world, but it wasn't in a way. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, because you would have, no, I get what you mean. That's kind of like the way Mario Odyssey was open world, but it wasn't. Like, that's what it reminds me of. If that makes sense.
So I'm just I'm just sorry for interrupting, but I'm just reading the Dead Island 2 like blur that was on Gamescom, and it's basically like try to like uncover the truth about the outbreak and save the world. Basically, is all they've gotten.
Oh.
So what was this you heard about Sea of Thieves? By the way, I heard you mention that.
It was apparently mentioned in Gamescom, but I don't know. I think it was like a nominee.
I haven't seen. Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, because they do like.
It was either not
Murder.
mentioned for nominee or like their adventure, but then Skull and Bones is also there too. And everyone
See?
is not liking how that game look. Not how it looks, but like how.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not the
Dinged.
biggest. Yeah. I
And
don't
then you
like both
had
of it.
Dune Awakening, which, if you've seen the film Dune, an MMO.
Oh.
There was also the Castillo Protocol, which is from the developers of Dead Space. The Lords of the Fallen, which is a prequel / sequel to the other game called Lords of the Fallen, which is kind of confusing because all they've done is add a "the" to the end of it. I thought it was a Lord of the Rings game at first, but I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. And Dying Light 2's DLC, Bloody Ties,
God.
which people are annoyed about because it looks more like an arena, like battle game than a story mode.
Oh God, no. Not more Dying Light.
Accept it, Athena. You're always
I
going to be stuck
really
with zombies.
disliked. So that, no, but right. See with Dying Light though, right? The story and everything, I absolutely like. I was really getting into the story of Dying Light, but the zombies and having whenever you go into the darkness, having a timer above your head was making me anxious to a point that I physically could not play that game without being on the verge of having an anxiety attack. Which I was like, okay, well I can't play it. Like I'll go back to it every now and again, but I get to a limit. Like I get to a limit
If
where
it
I'm like, nope,
helped,
can't do it.
the first Dying Light does not have a timer, even though you are infected. And I've said this before. If you keep playing it and then keep getting the injectors, like on my solo playthrough, I'm now like able to withstand 7 full minutes of being in a night with no UV. By the time that even goes down to like slightly worrying levels, I'm either hit UV or in a safe zone.
I know you keep saying that, but it's the presence of the timer. That's what you know what I mean?
Oh, I know, but
That
I'm
it
just
probably
saying.
sounds stupid.
I know, I'm just
Having
saying.
a presence of a timer just makes me yeah.
So after with all Gamescom, because I had like two questions I wanted to ask you, Pete, you two. Well, basically the people who are on it, and because it's you two, obviously. Many games have come out with new mechanics, new systems, and some haven't been great, some have been absolutely amazing. Do you have an like if you had to like think of a mechanic that came out for gaming, and we're talking about like for instance Spider-Man, like Marvel Spider-Man web swinging, for instance, what would be your favorite? Like what was your moment when you were playing that game going, this is fucking awesome?
I was gonna say Spider-Man. Fuck.
Well then go with it.
Mine probably has to be Watch Dogs, just for the you can just click and just
See
read
what they are, yeah.
brilliant, stupid information about folk, and it just makes me laugh.
I just find it funny
Like,
in Watch Dogs Legion where it was like you read up somebody and it's like, this person is a waiter. What do they have? A fucking grenade launcher. And I'm sat looking, are you serving wine
I
in that fucker? Jesus!
I just can't. I'm not the biggest with Legion. I don't know why, but I'm just not.
I don't
It's a
blame you.
tough one for me to get into.
I know
I
Bloodline, the prequel, sorry, but the Bloodline prequel
that's
is
fine.
more like into my Watch Dogs 1/2. Especially with the
See,
profiling.
see, I like Watch Dogs 1 and 2 just for the profiling, because you just walk around. It's just, oh, I'm just going to look at this. Oh, you're in a porno. Nice. Oh, you you wash your cats every second night. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It just makes me laugh, and I'm just walk around, and it's like, I have two DUIs, and I'm driving home later.
What's the game I I was playing. I can't even remember. The like game mechanic wise, I did when I first one of the first games I played on PlayStation when I got my PS5 was the remastered Spider-Man, and I found that amazing. Just how fast you could go and all that. But the parkour, what game it? The parkour of just mainly any Assassin's, well, a lot of Assassin's Creed, I found it was just really fun to jump between things because I would always, I don't know, I used to always watch those parkour videos and wonder how they managed to do it. So being able to do it in a game, I find quite fun. I don't know.
Mm.
What was yours?
The Nemesis feature of Middle Earth Shadow of War and Mordor.
I don't know what that one is.
So
I've never played that game either.
what that is basically like the Nemesis system was like, say you attacked an orc who was a high-ranking general, or you died to an orc, right? That orc would remember everything of, like, remember your death, laugh at you for it, like make like and all that. Or if they escaped after you left and after you cut them up a bit, they would come back with a nasty gash on their face. Or like
Oh.
burn marks on their body from being burned or something like that. A prime example was in Shadow of War. There was this character called Ishmos, right? And every time you killed him, he'd come back more and be given the name Ishmos the Machine. And he would constantly keep getting revived and more robot, more like his parts placed with like metal and all that. And it'd be far more and more challenging. But even then, like every action you did, like say you fought an enemy, but like you lost a lot of health, so you ran away, and you came back to fight them after you got a bit stronger and that, they would actually comment on that.
Oh, that's quite
If
interesting.
like if you try to call your bodyguard, for instance, this was in Shadow of War. If you try to call your captain to fight by your side, there'd be an occasion where they would get captured by another orc, and you'd be like, they'd be like, looking for your friend and all that crap. Um, and sometimes like there was a whole point when I unlocked like the ability to dominate and take over, like have an army of my own. There was a whole scenario of like it going to shit. Because I would fight someone who I did not know was the brother of another orc, fight him, then my other army would show up. Turns out he'd be a blood brother of the person I just killed, so then he'd get angry at me. Then someone else would be the blood brother of that bloody fucking orc, and it would just be a massive like clusterfuck. And there's an occasion where like someone an orc you've been friends with would die and come back and basically like yell at you for leaving them to die, and then try to kill you. And like, and they'd have like different like strengths, fears, and all that. Like sometimes they would be like fear of watching like an orc throw up, fear of like burning or enraged by burning, and then they would like do like heavy attacks you cannot block. You have to just dodge and wait it out. And on a very, very, very rare occasion, they would literally have the fear of the Grave Walker, which was like the nickname your character had.
Oh.
So they would see you and just run.
Talk about guilt trip the game. Just
Yeah.
being like, you let me die, bitch, I'm gonna fucking kill you now. Like, no,
Yeah,
I'm
the only
sorry.
problem was in the Shadow of War, at least, the like Nemesis system, as it was called, didn't get wasn't properly used unless you toned up the difficulty, and it would get very brutal. And if you did, but there was also a mode called Grave Walker, which would just set the difficulty to normal, but put the Nemesis system to max, so you can get the highest amount of Nemesis system you can get. I turned down instantaneously and got attacked by like people that left that died, and I was like, "Fuck." Um, I
That
really
sounds.
hope to God they make a new one. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it sounds like really cool, like intuitive, like it would
Honestly, Athena,
really
next
listening to
next
what
time,
the.
if it's ever on PlayStation Plus next week or next time it's on sale, I would highly recommend picking up the Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor and War bundle, which gives you, I think it gives you Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor and its 3 DLCs, Middle-earth Shadow of War and its 5 DLCs, which include 2 new regions and factions. Um, It is a single player game, but it also plays like the Batman Arkham games, where it's like, your triangles like counter your B attack, and then you do a flurry of strikes and all that. But it's also in the sense of Assassin's Creed in a way, because you have like the Spectre, um, ghost that can see, um, basically has eagle vision.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then.
Um, but yeah, I would highly recommend that.
It does sound like, as much as it sounds like a guilt trip, I do like the if you
It is from
died
Lord of
to
the Rings,
someone's.
so it's like it's also got like iconic Lord of the Rings characters or mentions. Like it has, I think like
Oh,
the first game and the beginning of the second game has Gollum,
oh, that means I need
but
to
then
learn
Shelob,
Lord of the Rings characters, and I can't annoy people by not knowing them.
and then you have Shelob, who you'd be surprised at this, Athena, is a giant
How
fucking spider.
the hell do you play it, Mister? I'm afraid of spiders.
To be fair, she doesn't show as a spider until like the second last time you see her.
So
Um,
if I play it and I see her as a spider, I know that this is the second last time I'm gonna see her.
in the main
Thanks
story.
for the spoiler. I'm done. I'm never playing it. It's been spoiled.
I mean, wait for the main like I'm not gonna say because you play it, but like wait for the main plot twist at the end of the second game.
Oh. Ooh.
But yeah, no, it's and granted, as much as it's gonna piss off Storm,
Ah,
it might be open world, but there is no character. Well, the first game had no character customization other than skins. The second game had some customization, like you can change your weapon, your sword, your dagger, your bow slash hammer, like throwing hammer, and then your armor, like your cape, your armor, and then and then your ring.
ah.
Then there was skins that does that. When you buy the DLC and complete the DLC, the first DLC, you can become an elf. So I'll give you that. Um, but I wouldn't recommend playing any of the DLC till after you've played the first and like completed the whole of the second game, which
Right.
was a bitch. Well, no, it
Ah.
was. It wasn't a bitch. It was the end of the game was a massive pain in the ass. Because it was like now you've completed the game, you now have to like defend all the forts from and like attack forts from Sauron's army. You have to do it 10 fucking times, and it gets so hard. I mean, heck, you could even raid your friend's fort if you wanted. see how well their defenses get put up against you. That game I'd put up in my it is up there and one of my all-time favorites.
I will have a look at it.
So with that out of the way, and we've been over it for an hour 20, we're going to do one last question. And this is purely a tie-in to Project W with Dead by Daylight that's out today.
Oh, I forgot.
You forgot to figure this one out.
I don't know.
What is your favorite all-time game villain?
Oh.
I can never think of villains. Like,
well, you like Sonic,
see,
so I would have thought Dr. Eggman.
Well, that's quite weird, because I actually was gonna think and be like, well, what's his face? It's not Aku, it's, fuck.
I know you're
Aku's brother.
Yeah. Uka.
Uka.
No, it wasn't. Was it Uka?
It was Uka.
I don't know.
I'll just tell you.
I mean, Neo Cortex was more of an iconic villain than him.
No, I think that's what I was.
Cortex.
Cortex.
Yeah.
Cortex, because I can't really think of any other villains.
No, it is Uka.
Yeah, but who I was thinking of was Cortex.
Ah, right, Cortex, aye. To this day, I'll just Crash Bandicoot I'll never forget Crash Bandicoot just for when me and Athena were at school. But it's always that one mission that always sticks in my head as well, Athena, is the icy mission.
Same though. Right, what's your favourite villain?
Villain. Oh, this is a tough one for me.
That's the same. I was like, I don't really know. I don't think.
I'll put a filler villain in for now, and if it changes, it changes. But one villain that I used to love because he was just hilarious was Killer Billy from Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh.
I never got to play that.
Killer Billy was essentially a zombie made up of other zombies, but he was basically, if I can, a very, very, very obese Elvis zombie.
Okay.
Aha, here we go.
What,
and it was like the size of a skyscraper, but this was this is the concept art that he was, if it gives you a helpful idea. Just think a lot bigger.
For context, just sent us all a picture.
Yeah. The other two can look at the chat like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, that was Killer Billy. He's not my favorite, but he's a filler until I can think who my favorite actually is.
I mean, I can give you one that's obviously, as I just mentioned with Dead by Daylight announced with Project W out, would be Wesker from Resident Evil.
Oh, damn, I thought you were gonna say like Handsome Jack from Borderlands or something.
Oh no, to be fair,
didn't think
to be fair, Handsome Jack is up there. Like, you cannot, like, I'll give you that. Borderlands stepped it up with that game stepped it up with the villain and has never since then gone back up to that expectation. I mean, Handsome Jack got 4 games if you include the Telltale games. No, 3 games actually if you include Telltale. Where he was in it, and he was always the especially in Tales of Borderlands, he became a backstabbing asshole. But it's Jack.
Oh, actually, I'll rip you. I'll change my feller one. I just remembered it, and I was looking at my games. Matthias from the first Tomb Raider. Oh, can't beat him as a villain.
I get what you mean.
I mean, technically, him and Himiko are kind of the same, but I don't know whether she counts more as a villain or he does because he's more in it.
Never got a chance to play Tomb Raider 1 all the way through.
I never finished whatever Tomb Raider I was playing.
I think I only finished one Tomb Raider, and that was one that came on the PSP, Tomb Raider Legends.
Legend, oh, Legend.
But
I
yeah,
had
no,
it on
like,
PS2.
but like Wesker was probably my go-to villain, just because like it encapsulates them like the villain mindset that was in like 2005 era, where it was just like this god complex, literally wouldn't even like, as Athena painfully, to her, not to my knowledge because I know how much she hated it, painfully played through Resident Evil 5 and 6 with me. It was damn well fine. Wesker could have easily just shot Chris in the head or killed Chris on the spot, but chose not to and said mouth off to him, knowing fully well that he could not be stopped. And then he got stopped.
Until he was.
Until he was. But he's been a fucking mastermind since Resident Evil 1 and technically 0, where like he's been manipulating the STARS team, manipulating Umbrella, getting himself killed for more power. Then like technically helping Chris and Jill shut down Umbrella without even being there. And like then Resident Evil 5 when he's obviously aged up. I mean, are we talking about best villain or favorite villain? Probably favorite villain, Ryoko Shinobi, in gaming. Like best villain that comes into your head.
Because best villain is subjective. Like
best
so
villain is very subjective
kind of
because like there is
who-
like no best villain really.
Yeah.
See, if you say favorite villain, I could rattle off so many that I just love from games.
I mean, Handsome Jack was one of them. They tried to replicate it with Borderlands 3 with the Calypso twins, but I feel like they went into they dive bombed in to try it and then recreate that magic, and then just did not work out for them.
See, I'm gonna say one more, and then I'll stop rattling them off because I could literally sit and rattle them for ages. But Faith Seed from the Far Cry games. I don't know why, but she's one of my favorite villains.
Kefla from Far Cry, Final Fantasy 3. I never got to play any I can never get through any of the Final Fantasy games. The only one I've really primarily played and enjoyed, but again, back then I wasn't really in like big on turn-based games, like Final Fantasy. The only one I like enjoyed for a while was Final Fantasy 14.
Wait, did I say Final Fantasy? I thought I said Far
No,
Cry.
no, you did say Far Cry, but
right,
someone in chat said Final Fantasy. Wait, Far Cry 3? I would have thought it went for Vaas.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No. Faith Seed from the fifth one.
Oh, I've not played 5.
Oh,
I played New Dawn, but I've not played 5. I played the direct sequel, but not the actual game to 5.
See, I've not actually played 5. I just know that she's like a hippy dippy drug girl that literally floats around going wee.
No, Vaas Far Cry 3 was probably the pinnacle of villains once again. And then when you play Far Cry 6's DLC, where you play as Vaas, you start to realize that it's not just like, I'll give yourself this. They do that whole thing of like, he's not actually the bad guy. The main character from Far Cry 3 is the bad guy. Because he comes in like, well, obviously gets captured and all that, but like he becomes like a party goer who enjoys life to basically a serial killer. Like shows his true colors and like absolutely kills everything. Like just
Oh,
goes
that's
mental.
did not even. Right.
But yeah, like I say, Wesker would be one of mine. Just because
Yeah.
he encapsulates the god complex of and like villains and all villains and like it's just like a not perfect villain, but like I don't agree with Wesker though. Love him in RV. Shame. Well, I think there's some like that's not true anymore because I think the Umbrella Corps game, that crappy like PvP, like sure, is canon and set after 6, and Wesker's voice actor was in it as Wesker. So it's possible he survived, but then again, being blown up by 2 RPGs and drowning and basically like getting burnt alive with lava. Um, it's very unlikely we will see him again, and if we do, it'll be in the it fucking better be in the Resident Evil 4 remake.
I'm actually
Yeah, they're
quite
gonna
surprised that,
make a new
that
villain for
nobody
that.
said the Resident Evil 8 villains, because all of them were just brilliant.
I
Oh,
do know.
Resident Evil 8 was they were good, I give you that, but they weren't like fantastic.
I mean, most fans were a bit too distracted with one of them.
I mean, wouldn't you be?
Yeah, I
Hell, that
mean,
asshole.
like, yeah,
Pure
what
luck.
they were a bit distracted with what one character. Yeah, because Leon's ass was like
It's like
amazing.
Leon wasn't even in
I
that
don't even
goddamn
know.
game.
Liam wasn't
I
in that
know.
game.
I've not played it, but I was just didn't want to
Like
say the
the
obvious.
last time Leon was in any Resident Evil like film slash game, not including the remakes, was Resident Evil Vendetta after 6, where he becomes a drunk like loner, like depressed loner
Fair enough. Also,
who
it's
suffers
just
from
he's
PTSD.
he's probably is still alive because he's like one of the most loved villains in the series, so that's probably why he's still alive.
Well, there's a fan theory about there's a theory that Wesker's hunting down Jake, his son, to transfer his mind over to Jake because of Resident Evil Revelations 2 with Alex Wesker transferring her mind into Natalia. R is for well, yes. I don't see. I don't know why they did a remake. It didn't need a remake. People were asking for Code Veronica over that, or like, and I keep asking about it because it was a game that came out way too early, and that was Resident Evil Outbreak.
5 minutes left before I go idle. Um,
Just wiggle the camera. That's what we're doing.
I did, I did.
Wiggle,
I
wiggle,
just
wiggle.
had forgot to do it for a while. Um,
I
my question
Um,
is Resident Evil 4 the remake multiplayer?
they haven't announced it yet.
And now Athena goes, please don't be, please don't be, please don't be.
No, they haven't.
I've never
They've
wished a game wouldn't be solo
literally only
4.
shown 2 trailers for Resident Evil 4, which both look quite good to be fair. But they haven't said anything on the a multiplayer component. Plus, like Resident Evil 8 and 7 were not online, and there is remake no need for RE4. I agree, but yes, the VR I've yet to play, but that looks fucking fun and scary at the same time.
You should just steal Azrael's VR and play it.
It's not on PlayStation VR. It's on PC, I think.
Boo.
So I need an Oculus
Boo.
Quest, which I want anyway because it's got like 0 wires and I don't need to worry about it. But I think is that I think that's it, innit? We got what we wanted to talk about. Quest
didn't
2
think we
online,
rattled off.
yeah. thought that. Yeah, I think we rattled off for like an hour and 34 minutes. So we got what? We hit the quota.
Core.
And we've done what we said. Like we talked about Saints Row and all that. So next thing to do now is probably just raid out. I know Vix is live, so we can raid out to Vix. And someone, for fuck's sake, remind me to upload this to my YouTube when we're done.
Athena,
Not
it's your
tonight.
job.
YouTube.
Not tonight. Like Saturday or Sunday or something.
Where's my pen? I usually have a pen sitting here so I can write stuff down. I don't have my pen.
I take no responsibility in your reminding you because I forget.
Well, I'll just save it anyway, because then that'll be it. Like, save on the hard drive. Right. Well, that'll be it. I don't know if we'll be back later for Dead by Daylight, unless you want to do it another time. Actually, even though it's briefly. Yeah, sorry about that. Roko. Feel free to follow, because I know Athena 98, isn't it? For yours. Yeah. Athena 98 streams. Stormheart you want to stream.
Eventually.
I mean, I'm just saying, I know Hex wants to do the King's Fall raid on Destiny 2. Yeah. That'd be quite fun.
Oh.
I just need to remember I have the right costume.
Ugh. We have the Fortnite costumes right now. It's quite
they're
cool.
they actually are quite good to be fair. Apparently
I saw Cora's. Cora's was quite nice.
No, like
the actual
the kits and Fox.
Yeah. There's, if you go on Destiny 2, there's actually like 3 new armor sets. The Kitsune, the Dark Knight, and the Omega armor.
I just remember being in a very big argument with Athena for the longest time because she got the crown and I didn't.
Ha
Even though I didn't really like the crown.
Well.
Right. Well, anyway, we're gonna hit the red button and join Stray Vix, who's playing Dead by Daylight. Probably gonna be in some killer games right now, or not. We'll see. But this has been the Fox 10 with your host Scottish Fox and Athena and Stormheart, and we will see you next time. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
I like how you get up.
I don't even know if it worked. Did that work?
It did.
No.
Because I have moved over to Stray Vix.
I have also moved over there. So, Dead by Daylight?